I guess we have about 1,000 people here. Where's the press? Is there somewhere? I want to make sure they get that right. Just under 1,000 people, but James assured me that we'd have a good turnout. It's nice to see. As I said, I think what a candidate needs to get elected are a lot of friends and family who are going to work for him or her during a campaign, and I know James brings that to the race. And so on the Democratic side, as you know, we'll have two candidates vying for the nomination. Certainly proud to have James in the party and excited about his candidacy. So thank you for coming out, and please join me in welcoming James Maroney.
Thank you very much. Looking out here, it really is, I'm very thankful and appreciative for everyone who came here. Before my uncle spoke with my grandfather, not long before my grandfather died, and he had said to him, John, I've lived the American dream. I married the love of my life. I raised my children. I educated my children. And now I sit here and I look at boats all day. And so standing here now, I feel like I'm living the dream, being surrounded by my friends and my family in a place that I love, where I can go to the beach anytime I want. Permanent vacation. Okay. Thank you. Let me go when I get to the prepared speech. Mayor Blake, Rich, honored and distinguished guests, friends and family from Milford, Orange, and all over, I want to thank everyone for coming here tonight. I truly am overwhelmed by your support. This represents why we all live in such a great place, the support we give to each other, and the sense of community. I feel that when you are a part of a community, you have an obligation to give back to that community. I am trying to show my son that you need to give and not just take. When you love a community, you need to help both to maintain that sense of community and do whatever you can to improve that community. That is why tonight I am announcing that I am seeking the Democratic nomination to be the next representative from the 119th District. I believe that I can make a difference. I stand here tonight honored by your support as I embark upon a journey to earn the privilege to represent you in Hartford. Together, we will continue to make Milford and Orange great places to live and help make a difference for all of Connecticut. 13 years ago, I left my job trading stocks on Wall Street to come back home to Milford. I left trading stocks because there was only one way to tell whether you had a good day or a bad day: how much money you made. And that's not how I wanted to evaluate my life. There was no interaction with people, and I wanted to have a career where I could interact with people and feel that I was meaningfully impacted their lives. So I left that job and returned home to Milford to start my business, First Choice College Placement. And for the past 13 years, we have made a difference for almost 2,000 families and countless more who have attended our seminars, workshops, and other outreach programs. Education is my profession, and it's my passion. I am now serving on the Board of Education because I want to give back to the school system that has given so much to me. I am a Jonathan Law graduate. My brother and sister are Jonathan Law graduates. My parents are Jonathan Law graduates. My stepmother is a Milford High School graduate, and she was a former Milford teacher. My grandmother was a Milford High School graduate and a former Milford teacher. My son is now in kindergarten in the Milford Public Schools. I have friends here I've known since first grade who are here to support me, and those relationships are very important. My nieces are now entering the Orange Public Schools. Actually, 2 of them are already in the Orange Public Schools, and get ready, Orange, 1 more is on. I know that this is the year of education reform in Hartford, and I am very excited. If I am elected, I want to keep education a priority every year. Education is important not just for the children, but an educated workforce is important in order to attracting the best companies who will bring the best jobs. You may not know this, but the United States, for students who test in the top 5% of math in the United States, only test in the 50th percentile relative to the rest of the world. our best are only average. We are not preparing our students just to compete against other citizens of Connecticut or the United States. They're entering a global economy, and average is not good enough. We must do better for our children and for ourselves. Talking with constituents and speaking with friends and other parents, one particular issue has resonated with me. Many people feel that they aren't being heard and that their concerns aren't being valued. My father is an accounting professor, and he works in behavioral accounting. And for one of his papers, he did a study. And in the study, they found that when people feel that their concerns are valued, ultimately they will respect the decision, even if it wasn't what they were hoping for in the beginning. While this may seem like common sense, listening to people and valuing their input, it isn't always practiced. Starting next week, I'll be walking door to door to constituents to listen to them. I also plan on holding community conversations at local coffee shops where I can further listen to my constituents so I can adequately represent them in Hartford. I'll post a schedule for when I'm holding those office hours, I guess you would call them, on my website, jamesmaroney2012.com. I frequently tell my son, we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth. Talk less and listen more. Seems too often people talk at each other and not to each other. There are many problems that need to be tackled in the coming years. We're all being asked to do more with less. However, we still need to provide services to care for and protect our children, our seniors, our environment, and all of this needs to be done while also trying to control taxes and create an environment that encourages innovation and job creation. We will not find that balance by hurling partisan sound bites across the aisle. That can only happen if we work together and listen to each other. If I'm fortunate enough to be elected, your voice will be heard and represented in Hartford. As a small businessman, I am used to operating on a tight budget and doing more with less. My first few years in business, I didn't buy paper clips. If anyone sent me paper clips, I took them off and saved them and used them so I could save money. I'll bring that same mentality with me to Hartford. A willingness to invest in our citizens when it is appropriate, but an aversion to spending money needlessly. Right now, I realize that I should have heeded my own advice and talked less so I could start listening to you more, but I promise we're going to wrap up soon. Luckily, we got a nice night, and I can't believe it's in February and it's nice out. It's spring. As a runner and a small business owner, I'm accustomed to working hard. And you know that if I'm elected to represent you, I will work hard for you in Hartford. In fact, there's no strange coincidence that they call it running for election. It is very much like a cross-country race. In the beginning, at the starting line, all of your friends and family are there to cheer you on. For the next 7 months, there will be a lot of hard work that maybe not everyone will see. And then in November, we'll get to the finish line, and hopefully we'll have a lot more cheering. The truth is, I can't win this race alone. But we can win it together. With your support, the support of my wife and son, and all of my family, and all of you who are here tonight, I know that we can win this, and we can make a difference. So thank you all for coming out tonight. Tony.